Hey everyone, it's Joe back again. If you've been watching along the video series here, I made it 1 week post-op. Had my sleeve surgery on July 31st. As of right now, we're a little more than a week post-op. We're actually about 9 or 10 days. But I met with my surgeon yesterday and wanted to share that information, so I waited making a video there. But just 1 week post-op, went through and had the surgery experience. Went in. Probably the most painful thing was them trying to get an IV in me. I have thick veins, so it's hard sometimes for them to get a vein for it. But they ended up trying both hands and both arms, and finally got it on a third time in the middle of my forearm, which is the first time I've ever seen anyone stick me there. But that was an experience. But they got it. I was able to get into surgery. As far as the actual operating experience and stuff, it's the first time I had ever had surgery. So it was all a bit new to me. Obviously, I've been through my wife. She's had a couple surgeries. So it was a little weird. We were joking on the way over that, she was going to mess up. And when they brought in the gown, she was going to try to put it on. So we had some fun there. But it was a pretty easy experience. You go in, once they get the IV going, everything's pretty much fine from there. Going back, don't remember much of the operating room. I remember scooting over onto another table for them to, I guess, do the surgery at, and the anesthesiologist was telling me, we'd put a mask over you and this, that, and the other, but it's pretty normal. You're not really going to remember everything. And she was right, because I don't remember the oxygen mask. I remember laying on the next table, and I remember a couple people just, starting to put things around me and stuff like that, getting the IVs hooked up and all that good stuff. But that was it. I don't remember them putting a mask on me. I don't remember anyone saying, okay, are you ready? Let's go. Or, 1, 2, 3, or, hold my beer, or anything like that. I don't remember any of that experience, which is probably for the better. One of the things they did do during the surgery, and for men, this is going to be important to you. I'm sure it's not pleasant for women either. But I did end up getting a catheter put in. Talking with the surgeon, I knew it was coming. I'm kind of glad they did it when I was under, instead of trying to, do that when, when I was awake. So, did appreciate that. The one thing I would say about the catheter is they tape it to your inner thigh, obviously, because they don't want it moving around. Unfortunately, myself, like most men, I have hair on my inner thigh, or I did have hair on my inner thigh, so that was a bit unpleasant when they took it out the next morning. So as far as the catheter itself, like I said, it coming out, it's uncomfortable, but there's not really any pain. But my God, I don't know what kind of tape they use, but I swear to you, if we just start putting that on, on buildings, we won't have to worry about natural disasters anymore, because there's no way it's going to come off. As far as the surgery itself, as far as the next day, I was up, moving around that day. Not really a lot of discomfort for me. I did have a little bit of gas pain that people had talked about. Of course, I did have the morphine drip going too. That might have helped a bit. I don't see how, if you still had pain, you're on that much morphine. They probably messed something up at that point. But after that, I really wasn't hitting the pump for more pain medicine or anything like that. Was up, was moving around pretty well. The first night after the surgery, I was only allowed to have ice chips. Be honest with you, I didn't really want those until, my throat started getting pretty dry afterwards. But that was later on in the evening. Next morning, didn't really get any sleep that night either, by the way. Just every hour they're in there, blood pressure, or, checking your, your catheter and see how much you're draining out. Just stuff like that. And, one of the nurse aides came in and was like, well, we'll wait, 2.5 hours, try to let you get a little bit of shut-eye. And the nurse was back in like 45 minutes. So I know she's doing her job. I'm not going to hate on the nurse, but don't plan on getting much sleep there, I guess. After that, the next day, surgeon came in, checked on me. No gas, none of that stuff. Was doing pretty well. Went down and had my swallow test. Basically, you drink this really nasty liquid. in front of an x-ray machine, and the radiologist just checks and see if there's anything leaking out of your incisions. Mine came back just fine, so at that point they released me to clear liquids. I was able to drink water. I think they might have brought something in, but I didn't need it. I was essentially ready to be discharged. Unfortunately, they didn't do my swallow test until after lunch. So it was one of those, radiology was backed up and I kind of got just stuck there. So wasn't able to eat that day. When I got home, I did drink a bit and stuff like that, but really just wasn't wanting to eat after the surgery. After the next day, once I was tolerating clear liquids, I got released onto a full liquid diet. So then it was back on protein shakes, protein broth, etc. And was doing well on that stuff. The liquid hasn't really been an issue since I was released, which is good, because that's the most important thing. If you can stay hydrated, your body's not going to be hungry. You're overweight. Most people having the surgery are a 35 or 40 plus BMI. So you're not going to die if you don't eat for a day, and your body really, there's no, part of the surgery is they take out your stomach. That gets rid of most or all the ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone, and then you're no longer craving or even wanting food at that point, or you don't get hungry as well. So, like I said, just concentrating on the liquids, and that's been fine. But that was pretty much it for the surgical experience, and the week after was just clear liquids. I had my follow-up appointment with my surgeon. That was yesterday, and really, there's not much to report. Incisions look good. I got 6 incisions. I think I mentioned that before. But there are 6 just tiny incisions. I think they're about an inch wide. And that was it. That's all there really is as far as, physically looking at me. You wouldn't, other than these 6 little cuts, you really wouldn't be able to tell that I had any kind of surgery or anything done. Talk with the surgeon, no pain, no gas, tolerating drinks, and stuff like that very well. The day of my surgical appointment, which was yesterday, I went in and I had an egg that morning. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know we were making comments, best egg ever and everything else. But I had half of a scrambled egg. Went down fine. It was great. It did pretty much fill me up at that point. So there's definitely a learning curve there as far as eating. But then at that point, he released me to go to the next phase of the diets, which are soft proteins. For this phase of the diet, guys, it's turkey, chicken, seafood, cottage cheese, refried beans, scrambled eggs, other beans as long as they're boiled and mashed, lentils, fat-free, skim milk, and stuff like that. So I'm pretty opened up, still not really eating any veggies or anything like that. That will come in about 5 weeks. I have another appointment, and as long as all's going well, I can start it then. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I am making some barbecue ribs tomorrow, so follow my Instagram if you want to check that out. But I do plan on trying to eat one. Usually I make them pretty well, they fall off the bone. We'll see what happens, hard to say. But I am planning on trying that as part of the soft proteins and stuff like that. I would say, as far as chicken and stuff like that, the softer it is, the easier it will be for you at first, or at least it has been for me. I had chicken last night, and it was really soft because it was fresh. Went down okay, filled myself up, put it away. Today I had some for lunch, and it was a little bit tougher because it's the next day and it went into the microwave to heat up. But it was a little bit tougher. It was still okay. I got it down, and I was fine with it. But I could definitely tell the difference between it soft and being right out of the oven, or right out of the oven where I'd cooked it, or being microwaved and a bit harder. So I would say stick with your foods that you can cook that are softer in the beginning, and that should help you out quite a bit. As far as the surgery itself, the doctor told me basically make sure I'm getting my fluids in. I'm still going to have to drink a shake if I want to have any chance of meeting my protein goals, because, an ounce of chicken or an ounce of meat really only has about 7 grams of protein. My nutritionist wants me specifically taking in about 80 grams of protein a day, between 75 and 85. So I'll still have a shake or two a day to get my protein up, and then just incorporating in foods, trying new foods, see what I can tolerate, see what I can't tolerate as I kind of build throughout the next 5 weeks. The next phase of the journey is non-starchy vegetables. So I'll be on meats and non-starchy vegetables at that point, but that's, you know, another month plus out. So other than that, it's been a lot of chicken and refried beans the last 2 days. I'm been ecstatic for it because really the last 3 weeks of my life has just been fluid. So it's just nice to get something in that's not fluid and that requires some work on my part, some chewing. So but yeah, that's it. As far as stats, sorry I forgot to mention this earlier in the video. I started off at 284. I started my liquid diet. The day of surgery, I was 270, so I lost 14 pounds on the liquid diet. As of this morning, I was 258.8, so if we call it 259, I've lost a total of 25 pounds in about the last 3 weeks, give or take. So I'm excited. It's the first time I've been in the 250s in a couple of years easily. So yeah, I mean, excited about all this. Obviously, hoping the weight comes off. I have noticed that as I've been eating more regular foods and getting my fluids in, the weight tends to come down about a pound at a time. Whereas if I'm missing my goals, especially fluids, but protein as well, it tends to be more of, a quarter or half a pound loss per day or something like that. So other than that, guys, I do appreciate everyone's been watching the videos. I think we're over 30 views on the videos, up to 10 subscribers. So it's great that information is getting out there. I really do appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, I encourage you to subscribe. As I go through this journey, I will update you and kind of let you know where I am in it. Especially for the men, I know it's difficult on YouTube getting a man's perspective on VSG, especially something that is fresh and current. There's a lot of guys out there. Fighting 400 has a great channel. Jersey Jules has a great channel. And also VSGD, who that guy is a beast as far as his workout routine if you follow him on Instagram. But those guys inspired me to kind of make these videos. But I know for men, it's difficult to find fresh content out there. So I encourage you to subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure you're getting the notifications, hit the little bell. But I really appreciate everyone taking time. And if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to reach out to me either through the comments or through Instagram. Either way, as much information as I can put out there to help you with, I'll definitely give it to you. And I'm pretty much an open book. I don't tend to get shy about questions asked or anything like that. Other than that, I'm going to wrap it up for the night. I think I've been rambling long enough here. So I will see you guys in the next video, and stay tuned.